The power of the mainstream media, and social media for that matter, is that it forces necessary change. The Kenyan media is playing compromised keys for the politicians, and we need to find a way of stopping this. Absence of independence of thought and evidence of intellectually dwarfed journalism in Kenya is proving to be a millstone on the necks of every Kenyan, especially the marginalized, minorities, vulnerable and disadvantaged Kenyans in all cadres. We are wasting a lot of prime time on very irrelevant discussions with irrelevant persons. We are using opportunities that should be used to track the milestone in achieving very key developmental agenda to ask very irrelevant questions sometimes. And we should put the president, the deputy president, and their cabinet secretaries on toes whenever we get an opportunity to ask very pragmatic, concrete questions with regards to their primary agenda against which they. Giving political blackout would be useful on subjects that are not necessary. The media should be having the knife on the edge of the politicians for them to deliver, because they are holding the keys to facilitating and orchestrating necessary change in Kenya today. They should not play to the tunes of very emotive and sensational news, but should be very pragmatic in ensuring that we have our eyes on the big. We should drop the sensational news for gutter press, and the mainstream media, including social media, should be used to be avenues for orchestrating for real change that will impact on everyone. Our media should be used to promote, educate, inform, and also entertain about who we are, our identity as a people, what our forefathers fought for, what we should take pride in when we talk of a patriotic person. We need to unpack complex data with the help of experts in Kenya so that we can understand what amounts that are mentioned actually are. So many Kenya hear of trillions and billions and millions in their hundreds, and many people do not understand what those amounts of money could do. Helping people to understand by comparing them to things that people can see, like infrastructure, like the thicker superhighway, makes people understand the losses they incur as a nation. We need to interview different minds. We are recycling biased sycophants that have been holding very known positions over time. I think this needs to change, and it would be interesting to hear new views from new people that we've never heard of. We need to promote African and Kenyan content. We need to elevate the sense of identity for Kenyan and the Kenyan children to be proud of being Kenyans. We need to repaint agriculture and other works as noble. We need to promote the technical and vocational educational training avenues as platforms and avenues for bridging the missing middle. We need to show that these are decent jobs by elevating them and recognizing them and giving them the dignity that they deserve in the economic space. The reality on the ground is that majority of journalists are not able to think on their feet, sad to say. Majority of journalists are not independent in thinking. In the absence of the script, they would be lost and may not ask anything. They would probably ask the deputy president about his Nyamachoma experience with Salt Bay. Majority of journalists lack intellectual capacity and pragmatic thinking to engage an obviously ignorant politician or so-called experts. The journalists are us. The subtle biases driven by negative ethnicity that manifest in their discussions, in their debates, in their interviews, are a reflection of how we feel, how we think, and how we behave. If we want to change, we need to have the changes starting from us. Sensational news sell in Kenya because it is what is propelled. When someone comes up with very concrete discussion, they hardly get an audience enough for people to listen. We have Mwalimu Wanjia Njoya, who talks about very critical issues for all Kenyans to take note of. We have other Kenyans who are having platforms that are also talking about key issues that could help people make informed decisions. But those are not as popular. Majority of journalists are not patriotic, but selfish like politicians. And most Kenyans, sorry to say. And it is with a heavy heart that I say we need to change, and our fourth estate needs to help us walk towards the change that we want. We need to start thinking about our governance. We need to start thinking about the Kenya we want, and we need to be on the path leading us towards the direction of the Kenya we want. And we can only achieve that if we vote for the right people. Mainstream is creating a room for fake news to thrive by not giving very well packed, very concrete information to the public. Let us be a reflection of what we want to see, and let our mainstream media be the fourth estate they are meant to be. Let us do more than inform and entertain, but let us educate, for knowledge is power. Thank you.